Let's go to President of the PNP Youth Organization, Opposition Senator Gabriela Morris has condemned the government's reckless dismissal of credible public health warnings, demanding the immediate resignation of JLP Councillor Beverly Prince, Cassia Park, and Government Senator Marlon Morgan. This follows the National Water Commission NWC confirmation of E. coli contamination in sections of Kingston and St. Andrew water supply, a crisis the government initially downplayed and weaponized for political gain. I agree. My stance is that the heads should be resigning, and that is the title of my video. The Ministry of Health should resign. The Minister of Health, Christopher Tufton, Andrew Wallace needs to resign as well. And Matthew Samuda. When you look at all of the evidence, this is clear neglect. This is downplaying of a serious situation. This is a potential national health crisis. You understand? We don't know where that water traveling to from the area that there's the E. coli. We don't know if people are cooking food with the water and selling other people from outside the areas, and how far those bacteria can travel. We're living in a modern time right now. So, things have to be on the up and up. But let's hear what Senator Gabriel Morris has to say.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
The People's National Party Youth Organization is condemning the government's reckless dismissal of credible public health warnings, and we're demanding the immediate resignation of JLP Councillor Beverly Prince of the Cassia Park Division and a Government Senator Marlon Morgan. This follows the NWC's confirmation of E. coli contamination in sections of Kingston and St. Andrews water supply, a crisis that the government initially downplayed and weaponized for political gain. Weeks earlier, it was Junior Shadow spokesperson on health and wellness Jesse James Clark who raised urgent concerns and called for the release of water quality data, warning of public health risk. Instead of taking the matter seriously, the government chose to ridicule and try to discredit Mr. Clark. On March 24, Senator Morgan branded Clark's call as false, reckless, and irresponsible. By April 1, Councillor Prince and the JLP's Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation Caucus went further and demanded Clark's resignation and accused him of spreading misinformation. But the NWC's admission makes one thing clear: Clark was right and the government was wrong. This wasn't just political deflection on the part of the government. It was a dangerous attempt to silence legitimate concerns and mislead the public in the face of a health emergency. Prince and Morgan must resign, and the JLP must apologize. In addition, we're asking for an independent inquiry into the NWC's delayed disclosures and any government interference in the release of public health information. We also need answers from the Ministry of Health. Why are residents being told the water is safe when E. coli was confirmed? The PNP stands for accountability. While Jesse James Clark was advocating for transparency and the health of Jamaicans, the government was more interested in a political spin. Jamaica deserves leadership that puts the people first.
Visit our website at pnp.org.
So, that are the first thing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I agree with the beautiful Gabriela Morris, the intelligent Gabriela Morris. I mean, it's only right. They were actually demanding the resignation of Jesse James Clark. And with the evidence showing that he was actually correct, the data shows he was correct in raising alarm, Good, man. The data, good. The data suggests that he was absolutely correct. You understand? Now, that to me warrants the resignation of not only who she's requiring to resign, but also the Minister of Health, Christopher Tufton. Yes. And also the Prime Minister. And also Matthew Samoda. All of them have some responsibility in that area, especially given the fact that the KSMC, Mayor Swaby reached out to Matthew Samoda about that issue, and he got no reply from him. An issue that is so important. You know, the immediate dismissal of claims by the JLP was unwise, to say the least. They should have treated this situation with, more urgency, investigated. If the claims were negative, then they could have called for the resignation. Oh, my bad. Then they could have called for the resignation of the young man, Jesse James Clark. But Jesse James Clark was so confident in his claims that he doubled down. Hey, man, salute to my broski action, man. Appreciate you for the donation to the Cash App, my brother. Salute to you, salute to you. Big up my day ones, big up my day ones. But I want to move from that topic and show you how vastly different Ibrahim Troy is operating within his own country as a leader. Look at the difference between him and our current leaders. Look at this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Intervlog. I said this is Intervlog. We bring you the revolutionary news that is shaking the entire continent. Burkina Faso's president, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, has done it again.
He done it again.
The unstoppable leader, the champion of Africa's food sovereignty, has launched Faso Kosam, a state-owned milk company that is setting a new standard for self-sufficiency in Africa.
Woo!
Brothers and sisters of Africa, let us rise and celebrate this agricultural revolution.
Go, Africa!
While other countries continue to import milk from the West, Captain Traoré is proving that Africa can produce for itself.
Yes, it can.
This is leadership.
Yes, it is.
This is true independence. Burkina Faso has taken a historic step by establishing Faso Kosam, a company dedicated to processing and marketing locally produced milk. This is not just a factory. This is the beginning of a movement to liberate Africa from the grip of Western dairy imports. Faso Kosam started in December 2024 with a share capital of 100 million CFA francs, fully owned by the Burkinabe state. Today, it has officially launched operations with a processing unit in Ouagadougou's Sissin district, capable of handling 500 liters of milk daily.
Whoa.
And this is only the beginning. President Traoré's vision is clear. No more foreign milk.
Right on.
Faso Kosam will meet at least half of Burkina Faso's dairy needs within 5 years. Can you believe this?
I believe it.
At a time when African nations spend billions importing dairy products, Burkina Faso is saying, no, we will consume what we produce.
Right on.
Let's talk about the incredible advantages of this milk factory. Economic independence.
All right.
Faso Kosam is saving Burkina Faso nearly 12 billion CFA francs that was previously spent on importing dairy products.
No more.
That money now stays in Burkina Faso, boosting the local.
Yo, I gotta get the audio right on this. Nah, this is a bit low. Y'all please forgive me. What's the timestamp? 2 and 9. I gotta get the audio right on this. Let me turn up my audio. That's what I love about OBS. Let me turn up this audio right here. Let me turn this desktop audio up for this particular video right here. Wait a minute. Here we go.
Local economy.
Right on.
Job creation.
Yes.
The dairy industry is structured to create jobs at all levels, from farmers and factory workers to transporters and retailers. Faso Kosam is lifting Burkinabe citizens out of poverty through meaningful employment.
Yes, sir.
High quality products. Fresh milk, yogurt, cheese, butter, powdered milk. Burkina Faso is producing it all. No more dependency on foreign dairy. No more consuming products whose origins are unknown. Faso Kosam ensures quality and safety. Expansion and growth. The Sisson unit is only the start. Faso Kosam is building new processing facilities in Fada and Gorma, 3,000 liters per day. Bobo Dioulasso, 300 liters per day. Kubri and Dori. This is a revolution in the making.
Yes, it is.
Let's be honest. Burkina Faso is showing Africa the way.
Sure enough.
The milk from Faso Kosam has become the most consumed dairy product in West Africa.
All right now.
Every Burkinabe is drinking and enjoying their own milk. And the people love it.
Go ahead.
The quality, the pride.
Go Burkina Faso.
This is what happens when a nation believes in itself.
That's right.
Made in Burkina Faso is booming.
Yes, sir.
From agriculture to industry, Captain Traoré is proving that Africans don't need to beg foreign powers for survival.
France,
If
United
Burkina
States.
Faso can do it, why can't the rest of Africa?
That's right.
African leaders, are you watching?
Watch.
Are you listening?
Listen.
Instead of spending billions importing foreign milk, follow the Traoré model.
Right on.
Invest in your farmers. Build your own.
I want to say to the Jamaican people, why can't Jamaica do it? We're talking about farming, aren't we? We're talking about milk and eggs. Why can't Jamaica do it? Why? If we do a scientific analysis on products that we depend on the most in terms of raw food material, in terms of our diet, and we focus on those things, and the rest of the world also uses, like milk and eggs, why don't we have massive egg farms in Jamaica? Why? Make it make sense. Do you know how much land is like just acres, hundreds of acres of land that is just open? And we got to do something about how we dispose of garbage. I was reading an article the other day. A brother brought up a great point. The plastic. We have a lot of plastic. There's this young man in the States that uses plastic and turns it into not gasoline, but he calls it plastiline. And I showed the video the other day on my platform where he threw the plastiline into an old school Ford truck, and that boy, it was burning out. So it's real fuel. It's real fuel. But back to this self-reliance, man. We are in a rock and a hard place, and continuing to depend on overseas is not necessarily the best idea. We have to be more self-reliant, and that means there's some real creative things that we need to incorporate, and we need a government official that has, one, the vision, two, the wherewithal and the know-it-all, and three, the mindset. We don't need house slaves to be our leaders. We don't need people that is going to crawl behind the United States or China. We need government leaders that are going to walk into the room and sit at the table. We need leaders that are going to put Jamaica into a position of power. You understand what I'm saying? Where's the term? We need to incorporate the term in our society. We lick about with talawa. Not in a negative way, but in a creative way. Let's show the world, for the most part, we can rely on ourselves. Their answers are out there, man. That's why education is key. You feel me? Education is key. We need to harness little geniuses, the young minds, so they can help us solve our problems. We got Hey Lovely in the building. What's up, love? Appreciate you coming through. Told you all of the flowers coming into the garden on my day ones. All I need now is Miss Collins to pop in, man. Where Miss Collins at?
Milk factories. Empower your people. We cannot continue to rely on the West for something as basic as milk.
France, United States.
President Ibrahim Traoré has shown the way. Who among you will follow?
I will.
Africa must wake up.
Wake up, Africa.
Burkina Faso is no longer waiting for Western aid or foreign investors.
Stick it.
The country is moving forward with its own resources, its own people, and its own vision.
Oh, yeah.
It's time for the rest of the continent to do the same.
Come on, Africa.
Let's break it down further. Faso Kosam is not just about milk. It represents a fundamental shift in how African nations approach their food production.
That's right.
This is about food sovereignty.
That's right.
This is about dignity. This is about African pride.
Yes.
Reduce dependency on foreign products. The billions spent on imports are draining African economies.
Sure enough.
Faso Kosam is proof that we can reclaim that wealth by producing our own dairy products. A model for other African nations. Faso Kosam is a blueprint. Other countries must follow in Burkina Faso's footsteps.
They will.
To create a truly independent Africa.
Go, Africa.
Strengthening local farmers. Faso Kosam is not just a factory. It's a lifeline for thousands of Burkinabe dairy farmers. With guaranteed buyers for their milk, farmers are earning better incomes, improving their living standards, and contributing to national development.
Hear that, Trump?
Self-sufficiency in nutrition. Milk is a fundamental part of the diet. Faso Kosam ensures that Burkinabe citizens get access to fresh, nutritious dairy products without depending on costly imports. Now let's talk about the man who made all this possible.
Great man.
Captain Ibrahim Traoré.
A real president.
This is the kind of leadership Africa needs.
So does the United
A
States.
leader who puts his people first.
Not like
A
Trump.
leader who doesn't bow to foreign interests. A leader who believes in African potential.
Not like Trump.
While some presidents travel the world begging for aid, Traoré is building his nation.
Yes,
While
sir.
others are content with being dependent.
Yo, that dude in the background ad-libbing is crazy. He's like, so does the United States. Not like Trump. I ain't saying all of that, man. Listen. What Trump is doing is what the American people wanted him to do, as far as I'm concerned. He told them what he was doing, and they voted in it. They voted for it, and there you go. Period. All right. Does it put them in a better position for them personally? Might be. Other countries in the world are gonna suffer. Yes, but how can you fault them for doing what is best for them? Is it going to have long-term consequences for them? Maybe. I don't know what type of consequences it is, but hey, it is what it is. At the end of the day, that horse has gone through the gate, right? But I just think that this is a real opportunity to, one, look at examples like Ibrahim Traoré and what he's doing for his country. The first thing he tackled when he came into power was agriculture. The government of Jamaica, they are not investing enough into agriculture. As a matter of fact, education and agriculture has been basically a second, third, fourth option for them. They're focused on real estate and public-private partnerships. They're not really focused on education or agriculture, which is kind of weird because of how much people agriculture actually employs. 200 plus thousand. It's kind of weird. It's kind of backward, actually, not focusing on agriculture. But as much resources that the Burkina Faso has, young man, the youngest president in Africa, Ibrahim Choi, the first thing he did was buy seeds, buy tractors, buy bikes, all types of farming equipment. That was one of the first things he did. If you've been following Ibrahim Choi, one of the first things that man did was invest into agriculture. He said, we need to secure our food. This was long before no tariffs. So he was ahead of the game. Here comes the tariffs. They straight because of what he did years ago. Yeah, they are straight. They are straight. You understand what I'm saying? They'll be able to feed themselves. He had a whole armed force just to protect the farmers alone and the properties that the farmers are on. He bought bikes, everything. You know, he's a military mind, so he kind of thinks differently. You know what I'm saying? Security is a big thing, but food security is on the top of the list of security. If you don't protect what is going in your belly, you might be poisoned. Right? This is why we're telling the people in Portmore, don't eat the meat. Don't eat the meat. All right? You don't know what is going on with that. Leave that shit alone. Do not eat the meat. But let's continue.
On foreign imports, Traoré is investing in self-sufficiency. Faso Kosam is just one example of his vision. This is not just about milk. This is about what Burkina Faso represents today. A nation that is reclaiming its power. A nation that is inspiring the rest of Africa.
Yes, it is.
A nation that is proving that true independence means producing for oneself.
That's right.
Captain Ibrahim Traoré is not just the president of Burkina Faso. He is the leader Africa needs.
Sure enough.
He is the architect of a new African economy.
Yes,
one based on self-sufficiency, food sovereignty, and national pride.
Unlike Trump.
Faso Kosam is proof that with the right leadership, Africa can produce what it eats and eat what it produces. So let's celebrate. Let's support this revolution.
Go Africa.
Burkina Faso is rising, and Africa must rise with it. Wow. Intervlog is proud to witness history in the making.
I'm proud too.
Long live Faso Kosam.
Yes.
Long live President Ibrahim Traoré. Long live a self-sufficient Africa.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I had to share that. That was definitely on my itinerary for today. I'm so glad I remembered before I ended the live. And I got that on record. And of course, I'm going to post it. So, hey, man. Salute to y'all. Appreciate y'all. I don't know what's going on with my page. I feel like my page right now is under some serious attack. Honestly, there's no way my subscriptions are going up and my viewership when I'm live is going down. That makes no sense. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We're going to work through it, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?